All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Perry Leo. I'm the Vice Chair of the Faculty and University Senate, and we're waiting for Rashna Shah to come, but I'm going to start the meeting. And Rashna will take over when she comes. So I now call this special meeting of the University Senate to order. That's the first agenda item. The second agenda item is a discussion on an action on a resolution to censure the University of Minnesota Police Department regarding the improper detainment of a Minnesota Daily reporter. And I will call on Chase Krug to introduce the resolution. So Chase, take it away.
Perfect, thank you. I'm assuming that I need to first move the motion, so I will move to approve the resolution so we can get to discussion.
Second.
Okay. So moved. Do we,
I
Nancy?
get first.
Oh, Rashna is here now, so I'll finish this and then Rashna will take over. So do we now second the motion and take, so,
We'll now enter debate.
Yeah, if Chase doesn't want to say anything else, we can just enter the debate.
No,
Okay.
I'll retain my speaking privilege and I can talk. So now that we're in discussion, I can forward into my prepared speech. On Monday, October 21st, Minnesota Daily reporter Tyler Church was improperly detained by UMPD while performing journalistic duties on campus without justification. This incident raises significant concerns regarding UMPD's adherence to First Amendment rights and the protection of a free press, which are foundation to the democratic process and essential to an informed public. This resolution proposes to censure UMPD, to conduct a thorough review of this incident, request to provide a report of the review of said review to the University Senate in an expedited manner. I will urge senators to vote in favor of this resolution. And I'm open to questions. And also, I believe Tyler Church is also in attendance at this meeting if you want to direct questions directly to him. I am Chase Krug. I'm the COGS representative for Student Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chase. We will now proceed to the discussion because our bylaws require pro-con debate. When you raise your hand, please also send a chat to Amber Bathke, indicating whether you are in favor of the resolution, against it, or neutral, or have a question. Also, in accordance with our bylaws, we'll prioritize speakers who have not yet spoken, including yielding time. I'll defer to Amber to call on people in the appropriate order. When you're called on, please introduce yourself and indicate which unit you represent. Please note that non-members may speak only if yielded time by a senator. As a reminder, part of the role of the chair is to manage the discussion. We are getting there. As a reminder, part of the role of the chair is to manage the discussion. In order to allow more individuals to speak, I may choose not to invite a response from the presenter after every comment or question. The floor is now open for discussion.
And it looks like Brian Olmsted is up first. Brian Olmsted.
Thank you. Sorry, mute got me. I'm Brian Olmsted. I'm with the College of Science and Engineering. I'm on the Twin Cities campus. Pronouns are he, him. I'm generally not in favor of this without understanding this better. My questions are, what is the intended goal for this entire effort, and how does the desired outcome of this meeting support that goal? I just don't see it, I guess.
sorry. Yes, the next speaker is Alicia Cullen.
I have I would like to yield my time to Tyler Church, but my question related to that is what the report would be that we haven't seen already from the UMPD. My understanding is that their statement is accurate, but I'd like to yield my time to Tyler to weigh in.
Hello?
Tyler, you're on?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, I have a little speech prepared for you guys. All right, hello all. My name is Tyler Church, and as most of you likely know, I'm the reporter from the Minnesota Daily who was detained on October 21st during the Morrill Hall occupation. Before I begin, I would like to thank Ms. Elisa Cohen, the director of the university's Hubbard School, for yielding her time to me to speak today. I would also like to thank the staff of the Hubbard School for supporting me through the entire ordeal. I'm here today to ensure that no student journalist will ever have to deal with the complications that I've had. My interactions with the UMPD prevented my ability to not only perform duties as a journalist, but also severely limited my learning for days during an extremely tense midterm week. Because of these setbacks, I'm still trying to make up ground in many of my classes for the work and time that I miss. Protesters have allowed me access to Morrill Hall as I arrived, and I joined two fellow daily reporters who had arrived earlier than me. After some time in the building, my editor-in-chief, Spencer White, delivered press vests to us, which had clearly marked the words press printed in bold on the front and back. After we had gotten these vests, I left my bag containing my press badge along with my belongings with the other reporters in order to interview protesters in a separate room. During this
30
interview,
seconds remaining.
police broke through the barricades and cleared the room as they began putting us in handcuffs. Even though I stated my affiliation as a journalist with the Daily multiple times, I was told that that didn't matter. I sit with you all today not to lambast the UMPD or University of Minnesota. Every member of both institutions is human, and I recognize that mistakes happen. What I am here today is to tell you my story and pave the way for future journalists here at the university. The resulting attention on social media has brought a lot of hate and controversy to my name as someone who is simply trying to do his job after a long
The
day of study.
speaker's time is up.
Hold
Sorry.
Chase, would you like to respond or comment?
Do I have speaking privileges again, or can I just give it back to Tyler Church so he can finish his statement?
Sorry, this is Nancy Sims. I'm the parliamentarian. The currently there's two things pending here, and I'm not quite sure which of them Rachna was trying to address. One is the first speaker directed a question at Chase. It is up to the chair of the meeting to decide whether or not Chase can answer. Chase has been invited to answer the question posed by the first speaker. We also have a point of order open, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, yes, I can answer the first question. So a censure resolution is a formal reprimand from a parliamentary body saying that essentially this shouldn't have happened, and the censure, so that's the censure resolution. The second part of the resolution is to request that UMPD conducts an investigation on its training of police officers regarding the press. And essentially, the University Senate does not have investigatory powers, but we can request from the university them to do actions. It's up to them if they want to do those actions, but I think we're obligated to at least request that from the administration. And yes, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask.
Nancy, would you like to address the point of
Yes,
order?
sorry, I think we got things out of order a little bit. I think that Chase has more or less responded to the point of order that was raised. Brian has clarified in chat that his question was prior to the point of order was what is the goal of the censure resolution? And it sounds like Rachna's good with you answering that one as well.
The goal of the censure resolution is to express disapproval and request a formal investigation from UMPD about their practices, with the goal of them discovering if their training is adequate. And if not, they put in place procedures to rectify those issues.
Very well, then we will move to the next person in line. Amber, who's the next person?
The next person in order of the pro-con debate is Nathaniel Mills.
Thanks. I move to extend debate until 11:30.
Second.
Second.
Nancy?
This is a motion to extend debate. It's great. My short notes just crashed. So somebody else can let me know from the official team if we've got this right. The motion to extend debate is not debatable, I believe, and it is subject to a 2/3 vote for approval.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Since it is moved and seconded that we extend debate on this resolution for 30 minutes, there is no debate on this motion. I'm reading the official statement. So we will proceed to a vote. Only senators and designated alternates should vote on whether to consider this today. If 2/3 of the group votes to extend debate, we will do so. Please note that the poll will show up for everyone in the meeting, but only members of the University Senate or designated alternates should vote. After the meeting, Senate office staff will verify that all votes were cast by eligible participants, and ineligible votes may affect the outcome of the vote after the effect. Amber, please initiate the poll.
Ten more seconds if you wish to vote.
Second,
And last call.
second, Doug Olendorf.
And with 73 ayes and 55 nays, this does not meet the 2/3 majority necessary to carry.
Okay.
So the motion is not, the motion does not support extension for 30 minutes. We will continue with the discussion as is.
So Nathaniel, please go ahead with your comments.
Okay, great, thank you. I wanted to say that I support this resolution. The detaining of press is a result of the, in many ways, I think, lamentable way in which the administration responded on October 21st to the occupation of Morrill Hall. In her remarks to the Senate on the 24th, President Cunningham justified sending in the police to break up the occupation, citing the chaotic circumstances and sort of fog of war around the situation as explaining any brief or mistaken press detentions. More information has since come out that UMPD and the administration surely should have known what we seem to know by now, that by 4:45 p.m. the employees had left Morrill. Protesters were not armed and had not harmed anyone. So despite having this period of no threat to safety for about an hour, no immediate need to end the occupation at any given time, and having ample time to de-escalate, the administration decided to have cops rush in and subdue everyone, protesters and press included, without much care or regard given for press freedoms. Also on the 24th, President Cunningham told the Senate that only one journalist for the Daily was detained, and only briefly. She said that he was not clearly marked as press, despite clearly wearing in pictures a vest that says press in large letters. We know now that it was actually 3 Daily reporters and a Star Tribune reporter who were ordered to stay in Morrill's basement for several hours before being allowed to leave. And the student reporter who was detained,
30 seconds
he
remaining.
was in cuffs for longer than 5 minutes. This is a dangerous situation that was introduced by the administration. This is Minneapolis. We know too well from recent history how much danger a police force, any police force, can create for civilians. And thus I support passing the resolution.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Amber, who's next?
Next we have Stacy Marr.
Thank you, Vice Chair Shaw. My name is Stacy Maher. I work in the College of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Sciences. My position is not to pass this resolution. I also want to acknowledge I am a leader in shared governance, but also a minority member within the Senate. Speaking up as a minority member is quite intimidating, and my statement reflects my own views and not those of the collective civil service Senate body. We've not had enough time to collect our thoughts as a collective group because we balance our service with our daily positions. I want to also begin by acknowledging some aspirational end goals: campus safety and campus security. These are commonalities for all within our system, inclusive of civil service staff, some of which were working inside Morrill Hall the day of the occupation. This resolution does not promote a culture of safety. It promotes exposing a divisive fissure within our university walls. Debating the system of policing has been top of mind for decades. A censure resolution will not resolve the system many of us feel frustrated with. Regarding this resolution, I have questions. Why is the process being rushed by the authors? Are press jackets actually credentials? Was the university asked if they were investigating this incident by the authors of this resolution? Was a formal report made through university reporting mechanisms that require the university to investigate the incident? At the October 24th U Senate meeting, this resolution was deferred to committee. While there are many avenues a resolution can take, the traditional avenue allows for fair-tempered discourse that often involves equitable voices at the table. Rushing this resolution to the U Senate excludes the equitability of our embedded process. I implore my Senate colleagues to join me in not passing this resolution. Be an example that rushed voices are not the way to conduct productive business for our students. For these reasons, I will vote no and ask you all to join me. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Chase, would you like to respond to any part of her questions, or are you good?
Yeah, first of all, I'll move to suspend Rule 6A of the University Senate rules. That I can state what it says. It is, let me pull it up. The time limits specified on the agenda are the maximum time for debate or discussion. A motion to extend the limits of debate may be proposed on any agenda item requires approval of 2/3 of those members present and voting. This suspension would allow us to continue debate. So I'll move that motion and request a second from the body.
Second.
Second.
Well, I think it will have to go through the same ruling. Nancy, are we correct in assuming it will go through the same ruling for?
Yeah, I need to check the rules on suspending the rules. One moment, please.
Suspension is a simple majority.
It's a simple majority.
That's my understanding.
Okay, this is not a poll I had prepared, so I will need a minute to get it set up. Ten more seconds if you wish to vote. And last call. With 57 in favor and 63 against, this motion does not carry.
I'm sorry, Chase. We will continue, since the motion does not carry, we'll continue with the discussion.
Thank you.
Member Wu.
Can I respond to the question now? Since now we're
Sure.
back on. Okay. I disagree that this is a rush process. I think a censure resolution is rather simple. It's it's an action that you agree or disagree with. I think that body should vote to disagree that this action was not necessary. Essentially, what this is a request of the administration is just to provide more answers. So if you're looking for more answers, this is the process, the way to do that. And I think it's relatively simple. I gave everybody information prior to this meeting. They've had the resolution for 3 weeks. I think we as senators have to use the available information that we have and just make a decision. So I think that is my response. So I appreciate the concern, but I think we have enough information to at least do a censure resolution. So thank you.
Thank you, Chase. Amber, who's next?
Next on the list with a neutral comment is Ava Schafel.
Hi, I'm asking for a senator to yield time.
I'm yielding time.
Thank you. My name's Ava. I'm an undergrad here at the U, and I was one of the students arrested on October 21st. At the moment of my arrest, UMPD and MN State Patrol came through a door yelling and pointing weapons at students. I now understand these were rubber bullet guns, and regardless of whether they were rubber bullet or real weapons, they had the potential to severely impact my safety and well-being. And in the moment, I feared for my life and safety. When we were arrested, students were arrested with zip ties, which were tightened to a painful level. Many students had marks on our wrists and our hands were turning red. One student's hands were even turning purple. We were held in the basement of Morrill for several hours with members of the press who were also kept in the building, as Nate mentioned. One press member, Tyler Church, was clearly labeled in a press vest and was forcefully arrested in the basement of Morrill and remained handcuffed, not for just a few minutes, but until other student protesters who had been arrested pointed out that a press member was being detained in handcuffs. And once other press members started taking pictures of the fact that Tyler was being detained, only then did UMPD officers choose to remove the handcuffs from Tyler. When the UMPD officers eventually did take the handcuffs off, they justified holding Tyler by saying that anyone could wear a press vest, which clearly violates the rights of the press, especially when his coworkers were nearby, stating that he was also a member. I later learned that not only were student protesters and press members arrested with weapons pointed at them, other students were dogpiled and forcefully arrested by cops in the building, including Tyler Church.
30 seconds remaining.
These protesters were unarmed and were specifically students who UMPD is here to protect. Our safety as students was clearly not considered and was much more violent than necessary. I also heard from other students unaffiliated with the event on October 21st that they feared for their safety on campus when they saw over 30 to 50 police cars around the Morrill and Northrop area. We were then held in jail on a probable cause hold for almost 48 hours, which the UMPD held us on.
Sorry, the speaker's time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. Next
speaker is Richard Graves.
Great, thank you. My name is Richard Graves and I'm a faculty center from the College of Design, and these views are my views only and don't necessarily represent my college. First off, I'd like to thank Chase for bringing forward this resolution. It gives us an opportunity to learn and grow. And when we first discussed this resolution on October 24th, I was confused on many levels. In rereading the news articles, I feel horrified that Tyler Church, and I'm glad Tyler's on this call so you can hear this. I feel horrified that Tyler, the reporter from the Minnesota Daily, was thrust into the middle of such a dangerous situation. I respect and support the desire to protect freedom of speech and freedom of the press outlined in the third part of the resolution. And I think it would be great for everyone directly involved in the actions that day to reflect on what could have been done differently. However, I do not support the entire resolution because it does not advance the moral argument for nonviolence. I believe it will contribute to the continued fragmentation and division of the University of Minnesota community. And to paraphrase the writer Kazu Haga, we should not judge those who have used violence in self-defense or as a reaction to the generations of systemic injustice, but violence can never create relationships. Violence can never get you closer to reconciliation. Movements that use violence or just nonviolent tactics seek victory. Principled nonviolence seeks to create a beloved community. The goal is to build and strengthen relationships and bring communities together. As a university of community, we
I'm
can
gonna
create a
call a point of
university.
order.
Am I being interrupted as I'm making
Yeah,
my
this
statement?
is this is
As
an
a
incidental
university
motion,
commu-
so,
as
hold on,
a
this is
uni-
incidental motion. So this is pause this debate, so
Okay, point of order.
that's, so yeah, this is a point of order, so the resolution does not discuss, it's not germane, what you're talking about is not germane to the discussion.
It will be
So-
if you let me finish.
No, hold on, the chair has to rule.
Can I have
So-
a parliamentary procedure point of order?
This is, he's trying to
I'm trying
raise a
to,
point of order and the chair gets to resolve the point of order.
thank you. The discussion on violence is not germane to the discussion because this resolution does not have anything to do with the protesters' actions or how the protesters were treated. It's just solely on the reporters, what happened to the reporters. So anything beyond that is not germane to the resolution.
In the interest of time, I will rule to move to the next speaker. Richard, you've made your point. I will move to the next speaker.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to make my most important point first. Thank you for silencing me.
The next person is Terry Caraway.
Thanks, Amber. I'm Terry Caraway. I'm a senator from the College of Liberal Arts. Look, I think we know enough. There were 4 reporters who were improperly detained by the UMPD. We don't need an investigation to figure that out. The question before us is whether we think it's appropriate for reporters who have either their credentials in hand or are wearing a press vest to be flex cuffed, have their belongings seized, to be detained for up to 2-3 hours by the UMPD. If you think that that's a good thing to happen at our university, then you should vote against this resolution. If you don't want that sort of behavior to happen on our campus, then you should vote in favor of it.
Thank you, Terry. Amber, who's next?
Next up, we have Aldo Rusticini.
Thank you. I'm speaking against the motion. I am faculty of at the Department of Economics. Before I went into the discussion, I took the liberty of getting some facts straight. In particular, I asked Tyler Church information about his version of the events, and I thank him for his professionality in answering me. The facts that are relevant, in my opinion, are whether he was held in handcuffs for 5 minutes, and that's confirmed. And it is confirmed that he could not verify his credentials with the University of Minnesota Police Department because his credentials were in a different bag. So he was detained for 5 minutes in handcuffs as a precautionary measure. Other members of the Minnesota Daily were held in the basement of Morrill Hall as a precautionary measure. These did not infringe at all in their ability to inform and report later on the events. So the freedom of the press was not infringed at all. Tyler also clarified to me that his bags were held in a different place, so he could not get the bags back in time. I don't see any evidence supporting the claim that the University of Minnesota Police Department behaved improperly. As to the point
30 seconds remaining.
What?
30 seconds remaining for the speaker.
Okay, yes. I want to support the point that Richard Graves was making before. There is a fundamental democratic principle that you do not impose your political views with the use of force. This is the principle that is at stake. 11 students out of 51,000 try to do that. We cannot afford to support that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I apologize to all the people who have their hands up. We are out of time. So we will now proceed to the motion on the floor. Please note that the poll will show up for everyone in the meeting, but only members of the University Senate or designated alternate should vote. After the meeting, Senate office staff will verify that all votes were cast by eligible participants, and ineligible votes may affect the outcome of the vote after the fact. Amber, please initiate the poll.
Point of order. This hasn't been seconded for a motion to be endorsed or voted on yet. And time has expired. Should it not be a motion to adjourn?
It was seconded.
It was seconded.
Initially. Yep.
10 more seconds if you wish to vote.
My poll disappeared.
Yes, can you relaunch the
Same
poll?
here.
Okay. I'm ending the poll. I'm going to restart, so everyone who voted, please vote again. See if I can relaunch it. Ten more seconds if you wish to vote. And last call. With 60 votes in favor and 62 votes against, this motion does not carry. As Rachna said, we will be verifying the vote to make sure all votes are eligible, and we'll send out the final results once they're verified.
Thank you very much, Amber. Very quickly, item 3 concerns a statement from the UMPD and is presented for information. You have access to the statement. Last, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. With this, we are adjourned from the meeting. Thank you all for participating.